What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the YouTube Barber Academy. You'll notice that I'm actually holding two Apexes. One is blue and one is red. And today I'm gonna make the case about why the Apex actually might be better than the Rebel, which has been my favorite clipper. But one of the things about the Apex that we don't like, that we gotta rectify right away, is they come with fade blades. So I'm gonna put a taper blade on one and a fusion blade on the other, which we're actually calling the vapor blade. And we're gonna cut hair all day with these two, and we're gonna see if this is actually better than the Rebel or not. Another thing worth noting is the cutter that comes stock is the shallow tooth cutter, and we wanna put the deep tooth cutter on there because it's gonna cut better. What's up, you guys? All right, so I have the Apex and I have the Rebel. And those of you guys who've been watching my channel forever know that I love the Rebel, use it every day. I love everything about it. It has a 3-hour runtime, it's super light. It comes with the fusion blade, and pretty much if I was only gonna pick one clipper, this is probably the best one going. But the more that I started to look at the Apex and I started to kind of unpack what's going on inside of this thing, I'm actually starting to realize that this might be a better clipper for the right person. So to start out with, let's just talk about aesthetics. You have an all metal body here. You have a really nice lever that's just so big and wide and easy to control, and it just feels great in the hand, and it's the perfect amount of balance. It is a little bit heavier than the Rebel. Now the Rebel has a plastic lever, plastic construction, which keeps it really light, but when you put these side by side, you just feel a little bit more quality went into the Apex. Also, they share the exact same motor. So both of them have the same motor, but due to the bigger housing, they were able to put a bigger battery in here. So you actually get a 4-hour runtime opposed to a 3-hour runtime. But that's not all right? One of the other things that drove me a little bit crazy about the Rebel is it's a little louder than pretty much every other clipper out there. And in a loud environment in the shop, it's really not been a problem. It's more or less like one of them things when you come in first thing in the morning and there's not a lot going on in the shop, it kind of hits you and the noise is definitely very noticeable. So for that, I've noticed that this is so much more quiet. Due to the body, due to the battery, due to pretty much every other factor, this is just an incredible machine. Some of the best setup advice that I could possibly give you would be to put one of these with the taper blade, put one of these with the vapor blade, the fusion. And I've used the slim deep cutter for both of these. So when I had both of these going, there was no length that I couldn't reach, especially between skin and that half guard. And that's the area you're gonna fight with the most for most of your blends. So when I had harsh skin lines that needed to be removing, boom, I was picking up the fusion blade. And when I was looking for detail, removing dark spots, and not making mistakes, I was picking up the one with the taper blade on here. Now, unfortunately, one of the downsides is it does come with a fade blade. So the first thing I would do is remove the fade blade, and if you have two of them, definitely set them up just like this. Slim deep tooth cutters and taper blade, fade blade. And you're going to see a whole lot of advantages here. Now, one of the other downsides is it does cost a little bit more. So for those of you guys who really like the shape of the Magic Clip, the feel of the wall clippers, you're probably still gonna wanna rock with the Rebel. But if you could get over the shape a little bit, and you will get used to the weight, it's not really that big of a jump to jump over to the Apex. And I would also tell you to cut hair with it for a good week or two before you make your decision. Because one of the things about having a little bit more weight in your clipper, the advantage would be if your hands are a little bit shaky, if you feel a little bit more unsteady, that little extra weight could actually provide a little bit of stability, and it can actually make you feel a little bit more confident and a little bit more consistent when you're cutting hair. This is kind of the comparison that I drew up here. So almost across the board, this wins. The only thing is price and weight. And if those two things are gonna be the deal breaker for you, then of course, you probably wanna stick with the Rebel. But this is just one of those clippers that I haven't really talked a lot about, and using it for this week, it's definitely gonna be my go-to. It's gonna be my number one for now, because I was able to cut hair all day with this on this 4-hour charge, and I never charged it. In fact, I cut hair out front and I'm charging it back here. So with having both of them, and then I'm also using the new skin to remove all my skin, to do all my debulking, I'm using this clipper here, and this clipper is going to take the brunt of most of my actions. So when I'm using that skin clipper, I'm preserving my battery for both of these, and these are mainly just used for blending, some clipper over comb, and some detail work. So when you have a couple different machines that are dedicated to different things, I'm not ruining my trimmers, I'm not ruining any of my other equipment, I'm not wasting my battery. So it really makes sense to pick up this skin clipper. And if you guys want to check out any of this gear, you guys can use the code Eddie and you can save 10%. I hope this video opened your mind and showed you, because these are just an awesome, awesome setup, and I hope that you guys give them a try. And also, I think I should mention the Saber before I go. Now, the difference between the Apex and the Saber is the motor. All right, this one has the rotary motor that you find in the Rebel, whereas the Saber has a digital brushless motor. Digital brushless motors, they tend to sip on battery and they're very forgiving. So the Saber is gonna have a little less torque, and because of that, it's gonna have a longer battery life. Now, when I was judging the difference between this and the Saber, I actually preferred to have a little bit more torque so that I could pretty much remove everything. And I found that this taper blade actually worked really good for removing good thick swaths of bulk, and it worked really good for clipper over comb. So across the board, it was great, whereas the Saber might struggle a little bit with clipper over comb because it's not really designed to be that. It's designed to be like the most forgiving clipper if it's equipped with a taper blade. So I hope that answers some of your questions, and I hope that you guys give these a try. All right, this is the YouTube Barber Academy. I'm Mr. Eddie Barber, and I'm out of here. Catch you in the next one. Peace.